One of the most amazing things about life is also one of the hardest, and that's making a choice. No matter what we do, the different things that we try, the different paths that we take, whether we wanted to take them or somebody told us that we needed to take them, we do these things and they're supposed to help us come to some kind of conclusion. Ideally, what are we gonna do with ourselves? What are we gonna do with our lives? And every step we take, we really hope will come to this aha moment that's going to indicate that, so that it will be the easiest thing in the world to choose. But again, it's still a choice, and choices are challenging. So even after all the trials and experiences, what do you do when you genuinely don't know what to do? Good morning, good life. Welcome back to AMYTV. I was inspired by this idea because of Jen, or Genesis. She sent me an email and it said, "Hi Amy, I'm struggling with career exploration. I'm getting my PhD in a couple of months, but I know I want to pursue non-academic jobs. But for now, that's it. That's all I know for sure. Tough to figure out ideas for the right target jobs for me. Thanks for all you do, Jen." This is such a prime example, right? We gave something a try, we pursued a path, we're actually finishing the PhD. Like, that's dope. Amazing job, Jen. We know exactly what people will think when we have that degree that we should do next, which is why you're saying to me, I don't know that I want to do any academic work in particular with this degree, because that is a foregone conclusion of those who have checked that same milestone. It's really interesting, right? You got the degree, maybe it's something else, or you have this other career path that you took, life in general. We're hoping that they will help us figure things out, but then we also get to a point, especially if we're further along in the process of making a decision, that it might be limiting to us instead. There's a little bit of paralyzation going on. I could go full on what a normal person would do in this situation, or I can think a little bit bigger because I don't want to be compartmentalized. It doesn't matter if you have a PhD, it doesn't matter if you graduated college, it doesn't matter how much work experience that you have. No matter where you are right now, if you're thinking to yourself like Jen, what do I do if I really don't know what to do? You should be asking yourself this question: how can I be an instrument for good? Because the fact of the matter is that we are here to serve. When we think too much about, I have this degree and I have this experience and I know I could do that, it's very egocentric. And if we're trying to not just use the ego for positive things, but understand how we can use them in a way that helps others, we have to consider those others a lot more. What is it that I have achieved so far, and what is it that I'm good at, and what is it that people would like to see from me? People being those you serve, not those who are holding expectations. Difference. We always love to hear the stories of the people who got one kind of degree and then went on to go do some crazy other type of work instead, because that certification does not define you. It is just another step in the process. When you start to open your mind to, how am I an instrument? How am I a messenger? How do I serve? And also then take into consideration those details that you kind of have in your arsenal, in your toolbox. And you can get more creative about what it is that you can do. And then after that, you just gotta do something. You have to choose something. It's continuing to be the experience that you build. No one's gonna be able to tell you, go in this direction, try this, do that, because we would really just be going for those other things that would have automatically been assumed of us already if we were just taking into consideration what everybody else in the world thought that we should do. We will not know until we experience it for ourselves. You've got to try something. You have to try something and say, that sucked. I don't want to do that anymore. And you have to try something and say, like, okay, there were good things about that. There were other things I didn't love about it, and measure them accordingly. But you need to measure your own experience rather than looking outward for what is going to work well for you. What we're really hoping for is that we get to a point where we have that big aha moment, right? It's just like, oh, I figured it out. I feel like I can say that there was a point in my life where I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was just dabbling. I had played with video a little bit. I was experimenting with social media. I was working in politics at the time. I was doing all kinds of random stuff, following a path that I had chosen and trying to navigate whether or not I liked it, which I was still measuring. And also just trying other things so that I knew that the world didn't stop with just that PhD path, right? This is what I think the world wants from me, so I'm gonna try it, but I'm also going to try some other things. The day that I realized I was learning a skill set that could then go on to be who I am today, first of all, had no clue about that right off the bat. And second of all, it was just an opportunity that I tried something new and I started to get that feedback, and that positive feedback about other things that I was trying that I might be good at and that might be called of me was an indication that I might be doing something in the right direction, especially since it was bringing me joy. I don't think you have to be the most passionate person in the world to find the right career path for yourself, because we don't want to ruin passion either. We just need to find that purpose that when we are in our groove, we're in the right place at the right time, and we need to make money at this because this is working. That will never happen until you try something. So ask yourself, how can I be an instrument for good? How can everything I've been doing help me to find what is that calling for me? What are people calling me for? They ain't gonna call until you give it a try. Jen, thank you so much for opening up to me and replying to my email and telling me all about this. I was very excited to share this in a video today. If you would potentially like for me to answer your question here on AMYTV, I feel like that's the entire purpose of AMYTV. So always feel free to send me a question. You can text my text number, you can reply to my emails if you're on my email list, you can leave comments. We look for questions everywhere. And so please do let me know what's on your mind so we can talk about it. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, remember, subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. Cheers. I hope this was helpful for you. I have a couple of other videos. If you want to continue to unpack this idea, then click over here or click over here. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a thing.